Welcome back to Telltale Books videos. I'm Greg, and I'm going to continue my Stephen King series, taking a break from talking about You Like It Darker to get back on track, simply because I already had this scheduled before I ever even bought You Like It Darker. Before I ever pre-ordered it, I had this story scheduled to be done. It is the 20th story in my bibliography of Stephen King's work. 20th published story, titled The Fifth Quarter. It was published in Cavalier magazine, which was a skin magazine in the 1970s. This was published in the April 1972 issue, and it is only a short story. I have the story in his massive collection, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. And that is where I read the story. The fifth quarter, you have four men that all have 1/4 of a map that when you put it together, it'll lead them to a stash of money. Trying to remember, I can't remember where the money came from, a theft or something, and they stashed it away, and now they're going back after it later. But a fifth man gets involved and wants to get all four parts of the map so that he can claim the money from them. This is a crime story and not supernatural. It's what you would call a non-genre story. It's a thriller. So that is a genre, really. It's just not science fiction, fantasy, or horror. And I found the story to be really well written. Of course, it's Stephen King. He's an excellent writer. It doesn't disappoint that way. The characters were really good. The situation was suspenseful as much as it can be in a short story. But nothing really stood out and made it, really, wow, this is such a cool story. Nothing really made this better than any other Stephen King story. It's average. And as average for Stephen King, it's recommended. Definitely for anybody who's a King fan, anybody that likes more of the thriller side of things. This story won't disappoint. It's going to be worth the time reading, because it's just a short story. Not going to take up a lot of your time, and it's going to be worth it. I think you'll enjoy it. I don't think you're going to be blown away by it. I wasn't, but you don't have to always be blown away by stories. They can just be enjoyable, and that's where this sits. So that's really all I have to say about it without spoiling anything. Have you read The Fifth Quarter? Do not spoil the ending, but otherwise tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts about it and about Stephen King of that era. And then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and come on back for a lot more Stephen King, because his 21st published story is Battleground, and that one came from, well, I read it in his first short story collection, Night Shift. So come and join me for Battleground and all the rest of the Stephen King I'll be going through. I'll be getting back to a lot more of You Like It Darker. July is going to be like Stephen King month on Telltale Books. I'm reading so much because there's a sequel in You Like It Darker to Cujo. And I've never read Cujo, so before I can read the sequel titled Rattlesnakes, I got to read Cujo. So I've started reading Cujo, and so yeah, June and July both are just going to be Stephen King months. Just crazy with Stephen King videos here. But I am going to be doing other things, and Emily's going to be joining me for some other things that are very un-King like, and I think you'll enjoy what we have to offer the next 2-3 months here on Telltale Books. Come on back and join me for them.